Let me come to Oswald and Onadaga. I want to ask you a question. I want you to explain to the people over here gathered about the value of data and how to mine it.
Sure. Thank you very much, Prince.
Please come over.
Yeah. So in business, everything is about perspective, right? So what you can see and what you are involved in is mainly about what is available to you and from what point of view you are watching. Now, as human beings, when we move around in our city, we can only see what is ahead of us, even for traffic. But something like Google Maps is able to even define and tell you a better route that you can take because of the data. And so a lot of us even depend on those Google Maps there. That's an example of having another perspective, which is not specifically the perspective that you are accustomed to. And that's something that data provides to us. And I was just saying that banks have a lot of data. Financial institutions have a lot of data. That column called the narration column contains a lot of information about customers and what they are doing. If you are able to mine that kind of data, there's a lot that we can be able to see that we currently do not even know about customers. Let me give you just an example. So let's say a customer buys airtime through the mobile app services, through USSD services. Now the person, let's say I buy airtime every 2 to 3 days, and I usually buy 20 to 30 CDs. It is possible to actually analyze my transactions and have an automated system send me a prompt every 2 to 3 days when there's an estimate of when I would need some airtime to be recharged. And make it so easy for me to do that by just sending me a prompt to say, would you like to purchase 10 Ghana cedis airtime, or enter an amount that you want to purchase? And I can just enter that and enter my PIN, and the transaction goes through. I don't need to go to the app or any service. Now, this will actually increase the frequency of transactions that exist on the platforms and the frequency of transactions that customers are doing. Now, there is probably a segment based on an organization's transactions and what they are into. There are a lot of new ways that even RMs can even speak to their customers and the various companies. Based on the kind of transactions that they are doing, you can find a whole new segment of people that you can even allocate RMs to discuss, send salespeople out to contact because you've identified various opportunities in there. Now, the challenges with getting data is it requires a lot of expertise, a lot of understanding of statistics and all of this. And one thing that I believe that we can do is to collaborate with FinTechs and development solutions companies that are able to come in with teams that understand data analytics into a very deep level and help to automate some of these things and run models for that. Run models for artificial intelligence to monitor transactions and see what is in there. I strongly believe, especially from my experience in the technology sector of the banking sector, in a bank before I actually became a full-time entrepreneur, saw a lot of opportunities and products and services, new products and services that we can actually find, which is sitting in our data, but we haven't seen yet because we haven't mined it. So it's something that everyone should be looking at, but we do understand the expertise that is required to be able to develop these kind of systems. And I believe that one of the ways we can do it is to partner with solutions companies with expertise in data who are able to look at the data and find insights that we are looking for. Go on a 1 to 3 month program to be able to understand, to sit down with the executive teams, run the data, talk about new products that can come up, customer segments that are not being targeted, and all of that, and then bring up a report. And based on that, we can actually now develop new teams and look at how we can find our business and understand this information. Data is the new oil, is the way to go. Sometimes you might not know that you are sitting on a gold mine just because you haven't looked at your data. And so I think that is something that we should all look at. We should all try to understand as businesses. And there are a lot of organizations out there, even if you can't build an in-house team, that you can work with to be able to see this.
All right, thank you very much, Oswald. Now let's go to the gentleman in bow tie who said he wanted to say something.